The first time I saw one was the last time I believed my people were strong. A human, smaller than the legends, softer than the war reports. The body looked fragile, the skin weak, the movements wasteful. But when he entered the ruins, the air changed. Even broken, even bleeding, he carried something that made my hearts quake. I thought it was arrogance at first. Later, I learned the truth. It was the gravity of will. My name is Shalar. I was once a Threxian officer, sworn to the Combine, a predator race, bred to conquer. We believed no species could resist us. Then we met humanity. Our fleets struck first. Our weapons cut through their steel. But they did not collapse like the others. They burned brighter, fiercer. They fought us not with claws, not with fangs, but with something no weapon could extinguish. I didn't understand it. Not until I was crawling through ash, with my claws broken and my blood soaking the dirt, on the day I became his prisoner. The human stood above me, weapon raised. His visor glinted in the firelight, black and unyielding. I braced for the end, but instead of pulling the trigger, he paused. His voice, deep and steady, came through the translator. "Don't move. You'll live if you don't make me regret it." And I, a Threxian predator, warrior caste, trained never to beg, felt my throat betray me. I whispered, "Don't kill me, human. I'll warm your bed." It wasn't strategy. It wasn't dignity. It was instinct, the plea of prey offering anything to survive. And then he laughed, not cruel, not mocking, just alive. "You're not my enemy anymore," he said. "You're my responsibility now." Responsibility. The word hit harder than any blade. His name was Mason, a soldier, scarred and limping, burned but unbowed. He carried me through the wastelands of Vanar IV, when I should have been left to rot. He gave me water when his own lips were cracked with thirst. He dragged me when my legs failed, through ash storms that stripped the flesh from his arms. I hated him for it, because every act of mercy tore at the iron inside me, until I realized there was nothing iron left, only shame. We walked for cycles beneath the red sun. I watched him fight hunger, exhaustion, and despair. But he never stopped. One night, when the sky burned with the wreck of a human ship, I finally asked him, "Why? Why fight this way? Why bleed for a war you cannot win?" He turned, ash streaking his face, and said words that carved themselves into my soul. "Because someone has to." No Threxian would have understood. But I did, slowly, painfully. When the wreckage fell, we found survivors trapped inside. Humans, broken, screaming, already dying. Mason went to them without hesitation. Flames burned his skin. Steel cut into his palms. He dragged strangers from the wreck with his bare hands. I hissed at him, furious. "Why risk yourself for them? They're already lost." He looked at me, fire reflecting in his eyes. "They're mine," he said. "And even if I fail, they'll know I tried." And that was the moment. The moment I saw why your kind terrifies us. Because love, that reckless, burning devotion, is your greatest weapon. And it will kill every empire that underestimates it. I began to follow him not as a prisoner, but as something else. His shadow, his witness, his unwilling companion in a lesson my kind had never taught me. I saw how humans turn pain into fuel, how they laugh when they should collapse, how they bleed and rise again and again and again. I had no word in my tongue for that madness, so I borrowed his. He called it hope. When human rescue ships finally descended, I expected chains. interrogation, execution. But when their weapons turned on me, Mason stepped forward. "She's under my protection." His soldiers hesitated. Enemy. Alien. Predator. But they lowered their guns, because his voice carried weight. And I realized, when a human believes something, the universe bends to their will. Do you see the danger now? It isn't your ships. It isn't your guns. It isn't even your cleverness. It's that you decide something matters. And then you refuse to let go. My people? We conquer. We consume. And when the cost is too high, we abandon. But humans? You bleed for what you love. And the galaxy cannot understand that. The galaxy cannot fight that. I am an exile now. My kind branded me traitor, coward, corrupted. Let them. Because I have seen the storm that walks inside your species. I have seen a soldier laugh as he carried his enemy through fire. I have felt the warmth of a hand that should have struck me down, and instead lifted me higher. And I know, with a certainty that shakes me, that you will not be conquered. You will break us all. Sometimes, in the silence of the night, I still hear his words. They're mine, and even if I fail, they'll know I tried. It echoes in me like a prayer, and I wonder, perhaps humanity was never meant to rule the stars with armies. Perhaps your true dominion was always in your hearts, those reckless, burning hearts that refuse to surrender. The twist, the truth I now carry is this. We were never your enemies. Not really. We were only the latest to test your fire, the latest to break upon your will. And when the galaxy finally realizes it, it will already be too late. Because humanity has a power no empire can crush. You make even your enemies want to fight beside you. And now, I do.